Oh, what a surprise. They told me that Viki lives in here.
Well, Viki went to call home. Check the Mrs. Higgins.
How's Joe? Any news, honey?
Well, Jim was in about an hour ago, and apparently they're going after the tumor. And everything's going along all right.
How's Viki?
That news perked up a little bit. But I think that she's feeling the strain of it all.
And you? How are you?
Well, there's nothing wrong with me. Getting out of this hospital. Being with you wouldn't cure it. So how's the world?
Well, I'll tell you, it's an absolutely lovely night. The moon is full, the air is warm.
That's not what I meant. I meant our world.
I don't think you want to hear it.
No, you're right. But I knew that before I asked the question.
Paul moved in to see you.
All right. I knew that was going to happen. And there's nothing I can do about it. So I guess there's nothing left to say, is there? But I do have one question. What are you going to tell people?
The truth. That Paul's moved in temporarily so that he can spend more time with Brian.
And that you're in separate bedrooms.
Now, I really think that that's nobody's business but ours, don't you?
Well, it sure as hell is something that I'm going to tell people.
Listen, I'm sure that they will understand.
Just wish I knew how this thing was going to work out.
It'll work out all right, believe me. Oh, Kai! Oh, I'm so glad you're here.
How are you?
I guess I'm all right, sort of. I don't know, I just called home to check on Kevin, and he's yelling and crying in the background. Well, you know, that is one of the things that babies do best. I know. Miss Higgins says he's teething and he's cranky, but I don't exactly believe her. No, I don't. Well, you know me, I overreact. Tell you what, why don't I just go over there and check out the situation? No, Pat, you don't have to do that. Oh, yes, I do, because, you see, I don't want you worried about Kevin in addition to Joe. So, you see, I'll go over there, I'll find out if everything's okay. Then I'll come back here and I'll tell you that everything's fine. You'll feel better, okay? Well,
might as well do it. She's going to go over there anyway.
Okay. Then thank you very much. It would make me feel better. Okay. I'll see you in a while. Okay.
Don't I get one of those?
No. You get one of these. I'll see you in a while. Bye-bye. She is some terrific woman. I sure can understand why you love her. Honey, are you all right? Yeah, Kathy. Come on. What is it that you're making your first drink? One stuff, that's all. Are you sure?
Relax, Viki.
Was the operation over with?
No. No, as a matter of fact, they've had to slow down considerably. Honey, you've got to try to understand that brain surgery is a tremendously complex thing. And all the tests and x-rays and CAT scans in the world cannot possibly prepare the surgeons for what they're going to find when they begin to operate. And that's essentially why they can't predict the exact amount of time an operation is going to take. You're dealing with an intricate, delicate organ.
Why have they slowed down? What does that mean?
Well, all the vital signs are constantly being monitored during the operation. And there are fluctuations which indicate from time to time that the body is just under too much stress. Now, I'd say it's probably about 4 or 5 hours. Yes. Yes, honey. I don't suppose it would do any good for me to say that you have to go home and get some rest.
No, it wouldn't.
That's what I thought. So I've arranged for you to have room 1605 if you would like to lie down, Viki, and I certainly hope that you will. I really think you should.
Are you leaving here?
No, I'll stay here until the operation's over. So will I. And I'll be here. No, not you, Tony. You've been traipsing around this hospital enough tonight. Jim, I am fine. I want to stay with Viki. Do you want out of this hospital tomorrow or not?
Are you sure?
If you follow orders, yes, I'm serious.
Go to bed. I'll be fine.
Tony, I'll stay with you. Good. Let's go. I'm going back to the hospital. But I'm not leaving you here. I want to make sure you get back into bed.
Please. Can you give me something positive that I must do?
Viki, your husband is a very healthy man, essentially, a very strong man. And he's holding up extremely well.
Thank you. Well, if Joe is holding up, then so can I. Kathy, I think I know what you're saying. You're wondering if I'm fooling myself for trying. Look, I don't mean to get into anything that is none of my business. No, look, that's not saying. I care about you, Lana. I don't want to watch you get hurt all over again. Well, look, Kathy, I'll tell you, when I'm with Brad, I usually don't drink at all. I don't have any need to. I feel at ease with him. But, I'm not with him after empty, in fact. Maybe it's the empty it has to do with the drinking. All I'm saying is maybe that's something for you to think about, to be aware of. Okay. I'll think about it. Look, I gotta get going. Because Brad is in town tonight. I mean, coming over to my house, and I want to be there when he gets here. Brad's coming over tonight. Yeah, practically every night. So I'm just gonna go with you. And want to organize the band and Dad, and then bring the rest of the stuff over tomorrow. Oh, listen, maybe Dad or somebody will know something about Joe. I certainly hope so. Ready? Yeah, sure.
5 years I opened a whole chain of health clubs.
A whole chain?
Why not? The thing's going fine. Everybody's body conscious these days. It's a question of choosing a lucrative location, that's all.
Certainly are sounding ambitious.
I'm feeling it too. And let's see, in addition to a chain of health clubs, I want a big house out in the suburbs, one of the really nice neighborhoods. And I think it would be nice to have that house populated with, say, 2 kids.
A boy and a girl?
Yeah, maybe if we can arrange it. And you would be the mother of those kids, which means, of course, that you would be my wife, right? And we could have a big garage with old sports car for fun and a station wagon for the kids, go camping, stuff like that, yeah.
If you go that far, how about having a swimming pool in your backyard?
Fine, all right, yeah, you want one, whatever you want.
Boy, when you dream, you really dream big, don't you? Don't you think maybe you're asking for a little too much?
Oh, come on, you're the one that taught me how to dream. I mean, until I met you, I don't think I ever planned anything more than about 15 minutes in advance. When are you going to start taking the credit for that? Changing me, making me more mature?
Oh, I hope that's Jim. There's some news about Bill. Hi. Oh, hi, Kathleen. I just stopped over and Dad's back there, and I think Dad is still asleep. I was wondering if you heard anything about Joe.
Hi. Oh, hey, not at all. I think you just throw me out anyway.
Yes, I have a very busy and early day tomorrow, Brad.
Okay, well, in that case, I will be on my way. Let's get it here. Thank you for helping me.
Okay, it was fun. Jenny, your accountant, Brad?
No, but she does help me. You can call it that. I don't know whether it's a help or a hindrance.
Oh, well, you can get yourself someone else then.
That's all right. I'll stick with you. Take care, Kathy.
You too. Kathy, I haven't heard anything from Mom. What do you suppose that means? Well, I guess the operation is still going on. I know that some brain operations take 12 hours. 12 hours? Jenny, that's incredible. Look, I'm sure if Jim or Peter knew anything, they would call us. Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, look, I'll be going since you're going to bed. No, I'm not right away. What did you say? We haven't had a long time to talk. Well, that's true. Okay. Come on, sit down. Do you want some coffee? No, no, thanks. So, how's the cottage? Well, ready or not, I'm moving in tomorrow. Whether it's ready or you're ready. A little of both, I suppose. How's Brad? He's looking well. He's big. He's getting his life together. Being more sensible, mature. Thinking about the future instead of just the present. Well, it's true when he was working for Tony, he wasn't exactly the soul of reliability. Oh, well, he has come a long way since then. I'm very impressed by it. I guess I am. Maybe a little in love. I don't know about that. I can't really deal with that right now. I'm not sure I even know what love is. Let's see. Oh, Jenny, forgive me. I'm so concerned about Joe. I think I'll call the hospital whether there's any news or not. Well, do you think that Jim will really let Tony go home tomorrow?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I do. It's for no other reason than to give the staff here a break.
Now that he's finally gone off to bed, how about you?
Me? Nope.
You must be exhausted.
After strong like bull. Work all night.
I know you have a full day tomorrow, Peter.
I am not leaving this hospital while you are up and away.
Oh, Peter, I don't know how those doctors do it. It must be such an ordeal.
Oh, it's difficult, but what you don't know is that they work in teams,
I know, but they must get so tired. And that leads to making mistakes.
You know, it's just possible that they also might do everything exactly right.
Peter, Joe's biggest fear is that he'll end up helpless. Now, he made me promise him that if that happened, I wouldn't let him live. If it does happen, what will I do?
The part of Anna Craig is now being played by Kathleen Maguire.
Anna? Oh, hi, sweetie. Aren't you all right asleep? Hi. Have you heard anything from Dad? Yes, a little while ago. Joe's still on the operating table. Still? It's midnight and not over yet. It's amazing, isn't it? Did he say anything about Viki? Just that every time he goes in to talk to her, he scares her. He tries to give her information to keep her calm, but she's more or less panicking with every development. Well, surely somebody's there with her. Oh, yes, surely, but I think I'll go over a little later. Honey, it's midnight. I know, but I can't sleep anyway. Oh, Kathy, I'm so sorry your last night in the house had to turn out like this. I'd originally planned a little family party, nice dinner, and here we are. Don't worry about it. Dad's going to be exhausted when he gets home tonight. Yes, I've been thinking about that. He probably won't get any sleep and still insist on working a full day tomorrow. And my role around here is to make sure he remembers now and then that he's not a machine. Or as young as he used to be, for that matter. And I'm awfully glad he's got you to take care of him. And I'm glad you finally feel that way. Well, me too. Oh, I've got to admit, I was impossible there for a while. Oh, we were such good friends, and then you told me you were going to marry my father, and I thought, what? Marry my father? No woman is good enough for my father. Yes, it did get a little, shall we say, hostile. I'd say a lot hostile. But hopefully I've matured some since then. Wait a bit, Kathy. You shouldn't underestimate how far you've come and what you've done. Writing and publishing your novel, that's no easy feat. It amazes me how you give yourself so little credit for your book. Well, I guess it's because I haven't done anything since then. You know what it feels like to be a writer who isn't writing? Sometimes I'm convinced I'll never do it again. Until you do. And then you'll say, hey, I remember this, and it's great. Look, since I'm not going to be living here anymore, would you mind if I called you every morning and you could give me a daily pep talk? That would be my pleasure. You know, once we're all out of here, you're going to be so glad to have the house to yourself. No, there'll be no more Danny or Karen or Larry or me. It'll be marvelous. You and Dad will finally have some time alone together. He's gone all day. So with no one else around, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I'm used to a lot of activity. Yeah, but I think once you get used to the change of pace, you'll find you really like it. You're very optimistic, but I think what's going to happen is I'll turn into the town busybody, meddling in everybody's affairs. Now that will hardly happen.
Viki, well, before I went down to OR, she told me that she was going to lie down and get some rest, and I certainly hope that's what she's done. I hope so. 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how much longer she can stay on it. Okay. How are you doing, huh? I'm fine for an old man. Old man? That'll be the day, Mom. The day is here, Peter. You know, Jim, I was watching Munson and Cardwell, and it may sound corny, but seeing work like that, it makes me proud to be a doctor. Sure. You got the best kind of surgical team working on him, that's for sure. Now, if his luck just holds out. All right. What are the probabilities of brain damage? There's no way we can
before the operation, and he told her, these are his words now, that his greatest fear was that he would come out of the operation a vegetable. He told her if that happened, that he wanted to die very quickly.
I know I've asked a lot of you lately. Not very long ago, I was here begging you to bring my son back to me. And you did. Dear God, I need your help once more. I can't bear to lose Joe now. I'm really not strong enough to live without him. Or to raise our son without him. Please don't take him. Not yet. Please. Please let him get through the operation alive. We need him. I need him. Oh, God, please. Shouldn't we get a cab, darling?
Surely yet. Plenty of time.
Are we going anyplace in particular?
You tell me.
Joe, I didn't realize. It looks just as beautiful as it did the day we were married.
Seems like yesterday.
Joe, did you realize you were bringing us here?
Yes, I did.
I'd like to go up there and sit with you. Do you mind?
There's a bench.
You know, darling, it may seem like it was yesterday, but we've been married almost 2 years.
2 years next Friday. Maybe we should paint the town.
I remember that day so well. We came out of the church here. And you had that handsome cab waiting for us right down there. And we drove all around Central Park. We drank champagne. We danced. You had everything so beautifully planned that day. Darling, I believe that fate brought us here today. And that this is an omen. That everything is going to turn out just fine. Darling, would you mind if we went inside for a minute?
I think I'd like to.
Hello, Viki. Oh, it's so late. Well, what are you doing here? And what are you doing alone? Why isn't Jim with you, or Pete, or somebody? I think I'm in a room sleeping. And why aren't you? I know you can't. I did try, and I really did. Have you eaten anything? No, I can't. I'm too nervous. I thought Kath might be here with you. Well, she was, but she went to check on Kevin for me. Is anything wrong? No, I don't think so. I called home earlier, and he was cranky and crying. Miss Higgins says he was teething, but Pat went to see if it was all right, and she called and said he was fine, so I told her to go on home. We Rileys seem to be the whole town's problem tonight, don't we? Because we all love you so much. It's been more than 9.5 hours. I don't know how any man could go through something like that.
this hospital. And being with you in the funeral. So, how's the work?
Well, I'll tell you, it's a lovely night. And the moon is full and the air is warm.
That's not what I meant. How's our work?
I don't think you want to know.
No, you're right, but then I knew that before I asked the question.
Homogeneity. Honey, are you okay? Oh, I must have been asleep. You sure were. About 5 minutes after you closed your eyes. Oh, I had such a dream. We were all having a picnic. Kevin and Joe and I, and we were laughing. Kevin was laughing, and all of a sudden, the whole earth just opened up. And we all started to fall in. They all fell in. That's when I woke up. I certainly understand you're having a dream like that. It's not an omen, is it? No, it was a dream, just a dream. A nightmare. Because you're living a nightmare right now. Your biggest fear is losing your family. But it was just a dream. No omen. I guess I feel guilty because I fell asleep. There's still no word. No, I'm afraid not. Oh.
They'll be able to answer any of your questions much better than I could.
But he's alive, right?
Yes.
He's alive.
Yes.
He's alive.
Yes, he is. Here they are. Gentlemen, come in. Viki. Straight. Sit down, please. Yes, let me get some coffee. No. For me, you sure? Yes.
What?
Well, Mrs. Riley, first thing we can tell you is that we discovered once we got in there that the tumor is encapsulated.
Which means?
It was benign. So there was no cancer involved.
Oh, but there's no brain damage, right?
Well, we don't know yet.
Can I see him?
No, Viki. He's in intensive care. It'll be a day or so before he can be with.
Look, at this point, the best thing that you can do is go home, get some sleep. You deserve it. That's right.
Dr. Cardwell, Dr. Munson, asked you.
What is it? Oh, I see. Okay. Would you excuse me?
Yes, of course.
What is it? What's the matter?
Just take it easy, dear.
Jim, the way they ran out of here, something's wrong. What is it?
Honey, we don't know yet. As soon as they find out what's wrong, I'm sure they'll come back here and tell us about it.
I'll tell you, Kathy, when I'm with Brad, I usually don't even drink. I have no need to. I feel at ease with him. But when I'm not with him, I feel very empty. So, maybe the emptiness has to do with the drinking. Anyway, I should be getting home now, Kathy, because Brad's with his accountant tonight, and he'll probably be done soon, and I want to be at my place when he gets there.
it does help me. You can call it that. I don't know whether it's a help or a hindrance.
Oh, well, you can get yourself someone else then.
That's all right. I'll stick with you. Take care, Kathy.
You too. No, Kathy. Stay out of it. If you get involved, you'll just make things a mess. Just stay out of it. You talking to? Oh, Jenny, I didn't hear the door open. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. No, it's all right. I'm a little embarrassed. You caught me talking to myself. Oh, don't think anything about that. I do it all the time. So what is it you're supposed to stay out of? Maybe it's none of my business. No, it's, Tony. I was just thinking to myself, he has so many problems now that Paul's come back to Landview. And, well, I just wish there was something I could do to help him, but I know there isn't. If there's nothing anyone can do, if the Tony and Pat and Paul will have to work things out for themselves. I just hope they do it soon for all their sakes.
That thing better read 98.6, because otherwise Jim Craig is going to use it as an excuse to keep me in this hospital. And there's nothing that I want...
Max, it is 98.6.
Well, that's it. It's been nice knowing you, nurse, and I'll see you later.
Oh, no, Mr. Moore. No, you have to wait for Dr. Craig. He has to officially release you.
But why? He said last night if I go to bed and get a good night's sleep, then he'll let me out today. I did, and now the temperature proves it. So there's no reason for me to stay here.
Not until he gets here.
Doesn't anybody in this hospital realize that I've got to get out of here and straighten out for the rest of my life? Viki, it could mean one of two things. He could be hemorrhaging. Or he could have suffered brain damage during the operation.
No way you're going to deny me this pleasure. I've been waiting for this moment for a